13 Steps Down, Part 2, The Descent. The light that morning felt wrong before I even opened my eyes. It was too thin, too pale, the kind that doesn't warm the room but only exposes it, like a secret peeled open. I lie still for a long time, waiting for the familiar sounds. Water running through the pipes, the soft rattle of dishes, Evan humming to himself while he plans the day's repairs. But the house gives me nothing. Only the faint tick of the wall clock, and even that sounds tired. When I sit up, cold air slides down my spine. The window is fogged, and a single beam of light slices through, catching the dust that hangs in slow, lazy spirals. Everything looks untouched, but I know it isn't. The house feels emptied. I call his name once, twice. The sound falls flat. The kitchen is colder. His mug sits on the counter, half full of dark coffee gone to sludge. His jacket still hangs by the door, collar folded in the same neat way he always leaves it. I touch the sleeve. It's cold. The basement door is closed. I tell myself not to go to it, that he's outside, maybe walking the perimeter again, looking for that leak under the north gutter. I open the back door just to be sure. Frost crunches under my bare feet. His truck sits where it always has, beads of water frozen along the windshield. No footprints, no motion, no sound but the wind moving through the trees. The forest behind the house presses close, a wall of gray trunks and dripping moss. For the first time, it feels like it's leaning in, listening. I close the door. Evan's notes still clutter the table. Sketches of beams and foundations, but scrawled over with new lines, almost frantic. 13 steps, depth, intent, wood changes when counted aloud. He'd written that one 3 times, the words darker each time. The last page trails off mid-sentence. If the sound changes, it means... It stops there. The pencil mark fades into a smudge. I trace it with my finger, feeling the small groove in the paper where he pressed down hard. He must have heard it then, whatever it was that made him stop writing. The house groans softly, the sound rolling through the beams like breath. I put his notebook down, push my chair back, and walk to the basement door. I can smell it before I touch the handle, the damp, earthy cold that creeps up from below, the faint metallic tang of soil. My hand hesitates. I open it. The single bulb at the top of the stairs hums faintly, casting a cone of yellow light down into the dark. The stairs look the same, worn wood, rough railing, the edges shining faintly with moisture. 13 steps. I count them under my breath. 13. The air at the bottom is darker than shadow, heavy like a held breath. I should close the door. I should call someone. I do neither. Instead, I find myself lowering one foot onto the first step. It creaks softly, a familiar groan, the sound of old wood bearing weight. Another step, then another. I stop at the fourth, the air colder now, damp against my skin. The smell of earth is stronger here, sweet and metallic at once, like blood and rainwater mixed. Something drips in the darkness below. I whisper his name. Nothing. Only that slow drip and then a faint vibration through the rail beneath my fingers. A pulse, steady, patient. I back away, up the steps, heart pounding, and pull the door closed. The sound stops instantly, as though it had never been there. For the rest of the day, I move through the house in a daze. Every room feels wrong. The floorboards hum softly under my feet, too steady to be settling wood. I touch the walls, feel faint warmth, then cold. I hear the wind catch on the porch beams in uneven intervals, like breathing. By evening, I light candles, though it's not dark enough yet. The electricity flickers, a soft static that prickles against my skin. When I pass by the mirror in the hallway, I catch my reflection and freeze. For a heartbeat, I could swear there's someone standing behind me in the dim light. When I turn, there's no one. Only the open kitchen door and the faint sound of water somewhere deep below. I don't eat. I don't think about calling for help. I tell myself I'm just tired. When night comes, I try to sleep on the couch, but the house won't let me. The sounds start again. A faint tapping under the floor, irregular at first, then measured. 3 beats. Pause. 3 beats. I press my palm to the wood and feel it respond, a slow echo that's not mine. I whisper, Evan? Silence. Then, faint, far away, a knock, once. I tell myself I imagined it, but I can't stop listening. The candle on the table flickers low. The shadows crawl up the walls, lean together. When the wind moves through the eaves, I think I hear it whisper, not my name, but his. The hours bleed together. I keep thinking I'll call someone, his brother, the police. But I can't stand the idea of strangers in here, moving through his work, misunderstanding it. The house doesn't want anyone else. I can feel that now. Every time I reach for the phone, the line hums faintly and dies. By dawn, I give up pretending I'll sleep. The sky outside is the color of tin, and the mist presses against the windows like it's trying to get in. I boil water I don't drink. I keep rereading his last page until I know every indentation, every pencil groove. Something in me knows what I'm going to do before I do it. When I open the basement door again, the light bulb has gone out. The smell is thicker, damp wood and wet iron like a river hidden under the floor. I stand at the top step, one hand on the railing. The air feels alive, trembling faintly against my skin. I whisper, "Evan, if you're here, knock once." "Nothing," I whisper again. The silence folds around my words, and I hear the faintest scrape below, like a chair being moved slowly across stone. I take the first step. It doesn't creak. The next one sighs softly, and the sound travels down, swallowed by the dark. By the sixth step, the light from above has thinned to a narrow stripe. The air grows warmer, dense. I smell rain, though the day above is dry. 10, 11, 12. My breath trembles. The 13th step waits below, darker than the rest. I kneel, touching it. The wood is slick but warm. There's a print there, barefoot, half-faded, smaller than Evan's, but too defined to be old. I lower my hand over it. The grain pulses once beneath my palm, steady and deliberate, like a heart remembering how to beat. "Evan?" My voice shakes. Something moves just beyond the circle of light, sound without shape, a slow shift of air that brushes my cheek. I should turn back, I know that, but my body doesn't obey. I take one more step forward, and the boards under me sigh in relief, like they've been waiting. For a moment, I think I see him, a shadow at the edge of the dark, shoulders stooped, head turned. "Evan?" I whisper again. He doesn't answer. The shape fades, replaced by a low hum that runs through the floor, the railing, the marrow of my bones. The world tilts. The stairs feel longer now, stretching away beneath me, each step repeating itself like a reflection in water. My lantern light slides along the wall and catches something smooth, a line of symbols carved into the wood, shallow, unfinished. The first letter of my name. The hum deepens, my heartbeat stumbles trying to match it. I reach the bottom, but the floor isn't earth anymore. It's softer, uneven, and the boards curve inward, bowing slightly, as if I'm standing inside the ribs of something enormous. I whisper again, quieter now, afraid that speaking might make the walls breathe. The silence answers with a single sound, tap, then again, and again. 13 times. I start to back away, counting them under my breath. When the last echo fades, another follows, and one more, too quick, too close. A 14th. It doesn't come from below, it comes from behind me, where no stair should be. I turn, but the light stutters and dies, and the sound moves through the air like a breath against my ear. 14. Please come back for part 3. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a wonderful day.